Hi everybody. Today we are talking about caregivers who have resistant spouses or aging parents, and the fact that these situations may be one crisis away from getting help. Now, I realize that the term one crisis away may feel very offensive if you are the caregiver who hears this from a doctor or a nurse or any other healthcare professional. Because after all, many caregivers are doing the best they can. I know a lot of you are hanging on by a thread. You are so stressed out. But the problem here is that caring for another person poses so many complications that caregivers cannot control. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. My website is PamelaDWilson.com. On there, a lot of hope, help, support for caregivers and aging adults, my online courses, podcast, library, blog, and information about my caregiver support group. So let's talk about one crisis away from getting help and what that really means. So in my professional life of more than 20 years, I have cared for clients one-to-one. I've been the legal decision maker. I've been involved with so many families who, even though they were doing their best, realize that they really can't control the actions of what an aging parent or a spouse or somebody else is going to do. And so the challenge of being one crisis away from getting help is really more about thinking about the mental perspective, so up here, and the way any person approaches life and the challenges in life. Now this includes the caregiver, the people that we're taking care of, anybody else. Everybody, every single person, every single one of us can be stuck in our ways and our habits that are so problematic and non-productive. But these may be so routine to us. We may have done them for so many years that we just don't have the insight. We don't see that all of these things that we're doing are causing one problem after another. How many of us have problems that repeat in life over and over and over and over and over? Well, these are little taps on the shoulder. They're wake-up calls. They're lessons saying, pay attention. You're causing these problems. You're contributing somehow. But we often don't look at these situations that way because we think, well, I can't possibly be the cause of this, right? But we may actually be the cause. We may be doing things that cause problems for us in our life or other people. So the question when we think of caregiving and all the challenges and all the difficulties is, how am I contributing to this? So let's say that a healthcare professional does a home visit and they say, oh gosh, your parent is one crisis away from getting help. And you're thinking, well, what the heck does that mean? So here's a few questions to ask yourself. Are you enabling a parent not to do things that are good for them because they are refusing? They're saying, I'm not going to take a bath. I'm not going to take my medications. I am not going to do that. And so what's happening is you're having to do more care. Situations are getting more worse. You're stressed at night. You can't sleep. You're ending up in hospital emergency rooms with your parents. And it's all getting harder on you because your parent refuses to do things that are good for them. Admittedly, we all have a right to make bad choices and suffer the consequences. But here's the thing. Are you, as the caregiver, preventing your parent from suffering the consequences? Because you're worried about them getting sicker or needing more care, or you're worried about them dying. Well, is that really something that you should be taking on? Should you be taking on the problems that someone else creates because of their choices? Some people think yes, some people say no. There's no right answer here. You have to make that decision. So as the caregiver, are your actions delaying consequences for your parents? Because you keep everything running at the expense of your life, your career, your family, your spouse, or your friends. I don't know anybody who wants to ask for or accept help. That's just not how we're made. if we are somebody who wants to be independent and self-sufficient. But eventually, if caregivers keep juggling everything and doing everything, and aging parents have a lot of health problems, something is eventually going to happen that is going to tip those scales so that there's no option but to accept help. So what this means is that eventually there's going to be no choice but to bring caregivers into the home, move a parent to a care community or to a nursing home. Because when we, or the people that we care for, are not proactive, or we delay actions, or we don't do things that are good for us, it's true, we may be one crisis away from getting help. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Thanks for being here with me on this video today. Please press the share button, share this video, share my channel on YouTube with other caregivers that you know who are looking for hope, help, and support, and who are interested in looking at caregiving situations objectively and thinking a little bit differently about caregiving, aging, help, and everything in between. Have a fabulous day today. I will see you all again soon in another video.